Welcome to this week's BTS Gems. This gem is from my discussion with Dr. Robin Schupper about suicide prevention awareness, and we're looking at children coping with the pandemic and suicide.
Children as young as 10, I hadn't heard 8-year-olds, but it's very feasible, are, considering it more. I think they feel incredibly stressed. We tend to just go after them for the fact that they're not wearing masks, or they seem like all they care about is being with their friends. But the reality is that's what their lives are supposed to be about at this point. And by having the world change so drastically, think about who feels more helpless than a child. They have no power, they have no ability to make changes, and they don't understand what's going on. So we also have to consider them as well.
I'm happy you've highlighted that, because the reality is, if we as adults are having such a difficult time adjusting to all the changes that have been taking place around us, we need to remember that these changes are also impacting the children in our lives as well, and to really we really should give them some attention, speak to them about what is happening, how they are feeling, how are they coping with online schooling, or for some who don't have access to the internet and don't necessarily now have the opportunity with ease to attend school online, they're feeling left out. So in addition to not being able to spend time with friends and all of that, there's so much going on in their world as well that we really do, as parents and caregivers, need to take the time out to check in with them and to make sure that they are, that they're okay as they can be in this situation as well.
I think that's a great point. And I think also to focus on, giving them an idea of how to cope with these things. I think we don't realize that basically everything children learn, they learn from others, either observation or from, direct teaching. And if we're not helping them to figure out how to see, how you can cope with these issues, that there are other options, that, there are ways that we can get support, we can get help. Talking about it can be very good, but if they're not, if they're not observing this in the adults around them, if people are trying to keep all this from them and thinking that that's going to help them, if they're not actually working with children to learn coping skills, then they're really not going to learn them, and that's going to escalate their issues.
That is so true, and I'm going to use this moment now to share a little bit, to disclose. So my daughter is 18, as you know, and so she's had a whole lot of changes for her as well as it relates to school and so on. And we've noticed that she hasn't been sleeping. Well, her sleeping patterns would have been different anyway, because teenagers. But we noticed that she was sleeping even less, and we were talking to her about it. And she just kept saying, "Oh, I can't sleep. You know me, I can't sleep. I'm trying, but I can't." And it was just last week that we literally had a forceful kind of sit down where we went, "Okay, but sleep is important. So if it is that you can't sleep, it must be for a reason. Let's talk about it." And what came out of that conversation as a family chat was that she really was feeling a little bit overwhelmed and not sure about so many things. And she's 18. So what we did was, okay, do you want us to get you a therapist to talk to? No, I'm not ready for that yet. I went, okay, what I want you to do is to write down all the things that is running through your mind at nights when you lay down, because I'm thinking that's what's happening. And she admitted that, yes, that's what it is. I said, okay, write them down. After you do that, then you look at each thing and you highlight, is this factual? Is this real? Is this something that is possibly going to happen, or how severe, to see if it really is worth the worry that you're worrying about it. And a couple of days later, we followed up with her. Did you write them down? We had to, encourage her. She got to the place where she said, okay, I've now written them down, and I'm sleeping better. And so I'm sharing because I want to highlight to our viewers the importance of literally sitting down and talking to our kids and being patient with them and understanding. So that helped her. She's now sleeping better, and I'm hoping that I'm encouraging each parent, each caregiver. Once you are responsible for a child, check in with them. How are they coping? What is going on with them? How are they perceiving what is happening with all the changes that we're all experiencing regarding the pandemic? Let's not wait until things get terribly wrong, before we then try to do something about it. So I'm happy that we were able to bring this out.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of BTS Gems. See you next week.